through the Sewri-Worli elevated connector project, I believe. So all these projects, are in the pipeline. More Mumbai metro lines are in the pipeline. And of course, in the next 2 months, we will see the Prime Minister go on what I would call this Viksit Bharat Yatra, to many states to unveil, inaugurate projects worth several crores. Ahead of the Lok Sabha elections, we could see the Chenab Bridge in J&K being inaugurated to link Kashmir Valley to the rest of the mainland by a rail link for the first time since independence. We could see the Delhi-Mumbai Expressway, another big stretch in Gujarat being inaugurated by the Prime Minister. We could see the Dwarka Expressway around Delhi being inaugurated by the Prime Minister. We could see the Agra Metro project being inaugurated. So big mega projects are on the PM's table for inauguration in the next couple of months. And the development obviously is going to be a big pitch for the Prime Minister in the
All right, Aman, thank you so much for bringing in all those latest inputs. Many thanks to Yesha Kotak as well. As for now, those are the that's the bird's eye view of the Atal Setu that we are bringing to you. The longest bridge in the country, also to provide faster connectivity to the Mumbai International Airport, and the Navi Mumbai International Airport will also reduce travel time for people coming in from Goa, Pune and many more cities. And with that, it's a quick wrap from my end. Thank you so much for watching. Up next is Nation at 5 with Anusha Soni.
A number of statements are straight from White House to UK Prime Minister, and they are somewhere confirming that this was a defensive that was launched after a lot of incidents that have happened in the Red Sea and in the vicinity.
Right, Akash. Akash, do stay with us. I'll just take another question with Abhishek at this point. Abhishek, if firstly to you, are we looking at a possible retaliation from these Houthi rebels when it comes to these strikes against the US and the UK? Because we've been seeing the kind of attacks that have been launched against the commercial merchant vessels. And if that does take place, what will it exactly translate to on the ground level? If you could take us through the anticipated consequences of such an attack, of a full-fledged, for that matter, full-fledged war between these two sides.
Well, Houthis have in the past attacked the Saudi and UAE locations deep down various petroleum facilities or refinery facilities, including of Aramco, have been attacked. And so we know that Houthis have the capability to strike deep inside UAE and Saudi, which is like very much near to their locations. Talking about these attacks on the deployment that US, UK and other countries have done in Red Sea, we have seen multiple attacks having in the past also when cargo ships were attacked. So far, there has not been any, any significant attack on any military or naval vessel that has been deployed by US, UK or other countries which are part of that prosperity garden. So, but in the wake of the latest escalation, we can assume that there will be some retaliation from Sana'a because these attacks are not only going to give some sort of moral authority to the Yemeni government, but also the people in Yemen who have been until now not or divided on the kind of attacks that the Yemeni government was taking against US ships. They will be rallying their support for the cause of people from Gaza, for the cause of attack that has happened from the US and UK side on Yana and Sana'a and various locations. And so now we can see more emboldened or confident Yemeni government takes actions, retaliatory action mostly against those ships. Though US and UK have said that they are prepared for any retaliatory actions coming from Yemen. So probably they are also anticipating some sort of escalation. For now, there is no way that we can look at going down of Yemeni attacks in the wake of the latest attack that US has done, and the escalation of the tensions would continue to remain high, and the ships, for those who were faring through that area, will have to take the reroute.
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching The Nation at 5. I'm Anusha Soni. Our focus continues to be 22nd of January 2024, when the Pran Pratishtha ceremony at the Ram Temple, the newly constructed Ram Temple in Ayodhya, will take place. While the festivities in the temple town of Ayodhya have already begun, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who will be present there on the last day of the consecration rituals, has started a special Anushtan. It's going to last for the next 11 days, and there was also a special ritual that was performed at Panchwati, which holds an important significance in the life of Lord Ram. Also in the religious sphere as well, there was an important puja that was done. We'll get you all the details, and Pran Pratishtha, which was a result of a 500-year-long patient struggle, keeping in mind that the people who've been campaigning for the temple, or the movement that was constructed for the temple, is something that has a long historical genesis. Let's try and get you more reactions, but first let's listen into what the Prime Minister said.
सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, राम राम। जीवन के कुछ क्षण ईश्वरीय आशीर्वाद की वजह से ही यथार्थ में बदलते हैं। आज हम सभी भारतीयों के लिए, दुनिया भर में फैले राम भक्तों के लिए ऐसा ही पवित्र अवसर है। हर तरफ प्रभु श्री राम की भक्ति का अद्भुत वातावरण, चारों दिशाओं में राम नाम की धुन, राम भजनों की अद्भुत सौंदर्य माधुरी। हर किसी को इंतजार है 22 जनवरी का, उस ऐतिहासिक पवित्र पल का। और अब अयोध्या में रामलला की प्राण प्रतिष्ठा में केवल 11 दिन ही बचे हैं। मेरा सौभाग्य है कि मुझे भी इस पुण्य अवसर का साक्षी बनने का अवसर मिल रहा है। ये मेरे लिए कल्पनातीत अनुभूतियों का समय है। मैं भावुक हूँ, भाव विह्वल हूँ। मैं पहली बार जीवन में इस तरह के मनोभाव से गुजर रहा हूँ। मैं एक अलग ही भाव भक्ति की अनुभूति कर रहा हूँ। मेरे अंतर मन की ये भाव यात्रा मेरे लिए अभिव्यक्ति का नहीं, अनुभूति का अवसर है। चाहते हुए भी मैं इसकी गहनता, व्यापकता और तीव्रता को शब्दों में बांध नहीं पा रहा हूं। आप भी भली भांति मेरी स्थिति समझ सकते हैं। जिस स्वप्न को अनेकों पीढ़ियों ने वर्षों तक एक संकल्प की तरह अपने हृदय में जिया, मुझे उसकी सिद्धि के समय उपस्थित होने का सौभाग्य मिला है। प्रभु ने मुझे सभी भारतवासियों का प्रतिनिधित्व करने का निमित्त बनाया है। निमित्त मात्रम भव सव्यसाचिन। ये एक बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है। जैसा हमारे शास्त्रों में भी कहा गया है, हमें ईश्वर के यज्ञ के लिए, आराधना के लिए स्वयं में भी दैवीय चेतना जागृत करनी होती है।
Cutting across to our senior editor Pallavi Ghosh joining us live. Pallavi, mega preparations underway. A message coming in from the Prime Minister as well.
Absolutely, an 11th day Anushthan. You know, it actually is a very rigorous kind of a penance which takes place whenever there's a big event taking place. And of course, in this case, we are talking about the Pran Pratishtha. So, you know, there are ways in which you kind of lead a very sattvic and frugal lifestyle. And for the next 11 days, that's essentially the kind of lifestyle which the Prime Minister is going to be leading. I think the message then that goes across from him to all the people across the country, and also to those who are not going to be able to go to Ayodhya on 22nd, that I am doing this Anushthan on behalf of all of you. But the more important fact is that Pran Pratishtha should not be seen as only belonging to me. I mean, I may be there physically, but the point is that each one of the Indians who have been looking forward to this big day will be actually represented over there. And of course, we have been getting you ground reports, really, Anusha, of what about preparations are in full swing in Ayodhya. So basically, this is going to be called the big Diwali ahead of the other big Diwali across the country.
All right, Pallavi, thank you so much for putting that in perspective. Can I please request you to stay with us on the broadcast? There's so much more happening. There's politics around the Pran Pratishtha ceremony as well. We'll talk about that. But before that, there are voices coming in from different quarters, celebrations or the preparations in Ayodhya, which are already underway, as Pallavi was talking about. Let's have a listen to the reactions and some ground reports.
16 जनवरी से 22 जनवरी तक क्रमवार अगर हम देखें तो क्या-क्या कार्यक्रम 16 जनवरी शुरू होंगे?
सबसे पहले 16 जनवरी को जो रामलला ट्रस्ट की ओर से जो यजमान प्रतिनिधि के रूप में पूजन करेंगे, उनका चयन किया जा चुका होगा। उनका नाम अभी बताया नहीं गया है। जैसे ही बताया जाएगा आपको मालूम हो जाएगा। वो अकेले प्रायश्चित्त विधि करेंगे। प्रायश्चित्त विधि का तात्पर्य दशविध स्नान, गोदान और प्रायश्चित्त होम हवन होगा। उसके बाद पंचगव्य प्राशन करेंगे। उसमें पंचगव्य प्राशन में दूध, दही, घी, गोबर और गोमूत्र और इसके साथ कुशा का जल। 17 तारीख को संभवतः मंदिर के प्रांगण में ही पूरे परिसर की परिक्रमा मूर्ति की कराई जाएगी और परिक्रमा के साथ साथ ही सरयू का पूजन होगा, जल यात्रा होगी, कलश यात्रा। सूक्ष्म रूप में चूँकि लोगों की भीड़ को देखते हुए और सुरक्षा को देखते हुए सरयू में संक्षिप्त रूप में वहाँ पूजन और कलश यात्रा का पूजन विधिवत संपन्न होगा 17 तारीख को। 21 को सायंकाल शय्या दिवस होने के पश्चात जो प्रतिष्ठा का अंगभूत मुख्य हवन है, शांतिक पौष्टिक होम, मूर्तिपति लोकपाल होम, ये सारे हवन संपन्न होंगे और भगवान को शैया में सुलाया जाएगा और पूरे देश में, पूरे विश्व में उस रात्रि में जागरण करना चाहिए, ऐसा सबके लिए प्रति मेरा आह्वान है।
गुरुजी, मंदिर में और घर में किसी भी मूर्ति की प्राण प्रतिष्ठा का क्या महत्व है? क्या एक ही महत्व है या अलग अलग है?
नहीं, प्राण प्रतिष्ठा का महत्व तो दोनों ही जगह एक ही है। जो प्राण प्रतिष्ठा मंदिर में होती है वही प्राण प्रतिष्ठा घर में ही होती है। अंतर केवल अभी बताया जैसे भाई साहब ने कि घर की जो मूर्तियां होती हैं वो चल होती हैं और मंदिर में जो स्थापित मूर्तियां होती हैं वो अचल होती हैं।
All right, it's not just celebrations or preparations, but there's also politics around the Pran Pratishtha ceremony. The Congress party taking a position that they will not be present there on the 22nd of January. The left parties have already clarified their stand, including the TMC. The BJP has sharpened its attack on the Congress party, questioning their allegiance to the majority community, calling them Chunavi Hindus and much more. Listening to the political reactions and voices on this story.
इससे पहले अगर आप पेपर निकाल के देखेंगे तो मैं ये 6 तारीख को स्टेटमेंट दिया प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में, आपको कहा, और वो 7 तारीख आपने प्रिंट किया। उसमें स्पष्ट है मेरा जो पर्सनल है या मुझे जो आया है उसके बारे में मैं बाद में कहूँगा। और जहाँ तक सवाल है, जो आस्था रखने वाले लोग हैं वो आज भी जा सकते हैं, कल भी जा सकते हैं, परसों भी जा सकते हैं। ये आप ही के पेपर में आप पढ़ लीजिए। मैं ये तो 6 तारीख क्लियर किया हूँ, फिर भी उसको पलट के हम पे इतने वार करना।
Sir, the Congress party, including the most senior Sonia Gandhi and the Rahul Gandhi, have denied to go to the Ram Temple. They've denied the invitation that was given to them. How do you see this, not only as a politician but as an Indian as well?
I think it's petty. It is unreasonable politics. Bhagwan Ram belongs to the whole country. He's part of Indian folklore. He's part of Indian history. He's part of Indian culture and part of India's ethos. I think that just because the Ram Mandir has been built during the tenure of an opposition, of a government which the Congress party is opposed to, and particularly because they have rancor with Prime Minister Modi, I think it is churlish on their part not to attend this event after having been invited. But then the entire politics of the Congress party over the last few years is characterized by this kind of petty politics. And you know, what more can you expect from a party which in 2009 refused to commemorate the Kargil War of 2001?
Let me once again cut across back to my colleague Pallavi Ghosh. She continues to stay with us on the broadcast. Pallavi, it was indeed a catch-22 situation for the Congress party. They have decided not to be a part of it on the 22nd of January. 2 points. One, do you expect them to be at the Mandir post 22nd of January? And more importantly, BJP has sharpened its attack. How do you see the Congress party defending itself, not just right now, but in the run-up to 2024?
Well, yes, you're absolutely right. And it wasn't an easy decision to take, really, Anusha, which perhaps explains why they have been kind of mulling whether to go or not to go. Their logic is very simple internally, and the logic was that, any case, the core Hindu vote bank is not going to remain with the Congress party. It's going to go to the BJP. So why should we even bother to go that way? But the problem is that it did not bargain for the fact that many within the Congress party would not be happy with the idea of skipping the Pran Pratishtha, which perhaps explains the defense which is now coming in from the Congress, that even the four Shankaracharyas have not gone. They are skipping it. Would you want to call them anti-Hindu? And if you're not calling them anti-Hindu, why should we be called so? As to answering your second question, well, I think the Congress does have this plan that the entire India front could possibly send a delegation, but that is after the 22nd to go to the Ram Mandir to make the point that the Ram Lala or the Ram Mandir belongs to all.
All right, Pallavi, thank you so much for putting all of that into perspective for us. We'll, of course, keep coming back to you for more on that story. There are voices of murmurs and dissent even within the Congress party. After the party high command took the decision that they will not be present on the 22nd of January, not just the BJP, but even inside Congress, there are several voices which are sharpening its attack and are not happy with that decision. Listen into some political reactions on the story, please.
आज दोबारा एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई है जिसमें ये दोबारा जो क्रिटिसिज्म आ रही है कांग्रेस की तरफ, जो राम मंदिर में नहीं जा रहे हैं, जो इनवाइट दिया गया है उसको एक तरीके से ठुकरा दिया है। लेकिन ये भी बोला जा रहा है कि उत्तर प्रदेश के जो लीडर्स हैं, स्टेट इंचार्ज हैं, आप लोग जाएंगे 15 तारीख को। क्या प्लान के साथ क्या रहेगा उस दिन का आप लोगों का एजेंडा वहां जाने का?
देखिए, मुझे लगता है कि ये इतना बड़ा, जिसको जानबूझ के इतना बड़ा इश्यू बनाया जा रहा है, ये वाकई में, जैसा मैंने पहले भी कहा, राम मंदिर में या किसी भी मंदिर में जाना ये हमारी आस्था का सवाल है। प्रभु राम हिंदुस्तान का ऐसा कोई व्यक्ति नहीं होगा, चाहे किसी भी मजहब का हो, लेकिन प्रभु राम के प्रति उसके हृदय में एक विशेष स्थान है। और हमारे पूर्वज और वंशज जितने भी हैं वो तो प्रभु राम के, जब भी हर सांस में राम का नाम लेते हैं। उत्तर प्रदेश का प्रभार लेने के बाद में ये मेरा पूर्व नियोजित कार्यक्रम था कि पहला जो भी अवसर मिलेगा तो मैं जाकर माथा टेकूंगा, और ये अक्सर जब भी मुझे अवसर मिला है तो मैं जाके माथा टेका हूं। ये तो वहां पर जाने के बाद में जब 15 तारीख को मैं जा रहा हूं, इस भेंट का, इस विजिट का किसी राजनीतिक उद्देश्य से या राजनीतिक मेरी खुद के स्वयं पार्टी के से ऐसा कोई भी उद्देश्य नहीं है।
राम मंदिर का मुद्दा छाया हुआ, अयोध्या में तैयारी चल रही है, लेकिन इस बीच निमंत्रण को अस्वीकार कर दिया कांग्रेस पार्टी ने। और आपसे ये सवाल इसलिए इम्पोर्टेंट हो जाता है कि आपने कहा था कि सोनिया गांधी खुद चाहती हैं जाना, कोई प्रतिनिधि मंडल जाएगा। ऐसा क्या कुछ हुआ कि कांग्रेस ने अब इनकार कर दिया?
निमंत्रण स्वीकार करने वालों में सबसे पहले तो मैं कहूंगा कि इस देश के शंकराचार्य जी, जो हमारे धर्मगुरु हैं, उन्होंने क्यों अस्वीकार किया? क्योंकि धर्मशास्त्र के अनुकूल नहीं है। धर्मशास्त्र में बिना मंदिर के पूर्ण बनने के पहले प्राण प्रतिष्ठा किसी मूर्ति की नहीं हो सकती। एक, दूसरी बार निमंत्रण अस्वीकार अधिकांश राजनीतिक दलों ने कर दिया, कांग्रेस अकेली नहीं है। और हमारी आपत्ति दो है। एक तो यह है कि जो हमारे धर्मशास्त्र के अनुसार मंदिर निर्माण पूर्ण होने पर ही प्राण प्रतिष्ठा होती है, वो धर्मशास्त्र के विपरीत ये निर्णय लिया गया है राजनीतिक तौर पर जी, क्योंकि वो लोकसभा चुनाव के पहले इसको प्राण प्रतिष्ठा को करना चाहते थे ताकि उनको चुनाव में फायदा हो जाए, और मूल रूप से ये धार्मिक मुद्दा नहीं होते हुए एक राजनीतिक मुद्दा उन्होंने बना दिया। हम लोग पूरे तरीके से धर्म का उपयोग राजनीति में हो, हम इसके खिलाफ हैं। धर्म आस्था का प्रश्न है।
मैं सिर्फ यही कहूंगी कि जिन लोगों के लिए राम काल्पनिक हैं, और या फिर जिन्होंने राम भक्तों पे गोलियां चलाई थी, जिनके समय ऐसी कुर्बानियां और शहादतें हुई जो 1858 और 1828 और उस 32 उस समय से लेकर आज तक यही सब चलता आ रहा है। तो जिनको ना विश्वास है ना भरोसा है, वो लोग दूर रहना चाहते, तो कोई उसमें बहुत अचरज की बात नहीं है। लेकिन हाँ, जब चुनाव के समय में वो मंदिर जाते हैं तो उसको जनता को याद रखना होगा।
इंडिया गठबंधन के नेताओं का एक बड़ा हिस्सा भगवान श्री राम में आस्था रखता है, वो हमारे आराध्य हैं, लेकिन हम इसका राजनीतिकरण नहीं करते। नीतीश कुमार जी खुद इसमें फैसला लेंगे कि वो वहां जाएंगे और इसकी घोषणा हम जल्दी करें।
All right, getting you some more information. You remember there was a meeting of the INDIA alliance, especially the Congress party, that was all set to meet the Aam Aadmi party and the Samajwadi party for a possible seat sharing agreement between the two sides, Congress and SP, Congress and the Aam Aadmi party, in the run-up to 2024. The latest update coming in is that the meeting is scheduled to be held tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. It will happen virtually. Let's try and cut across to my colleague Pallavi Ghosh. She'll tell us more about what to expect from this meeting. Pallavi, correct me if I'm wrong, but was this meeting supposed to happen today?
No, the one meeting which is supposed to happen today is at 6:30, Anusha, but that is a smaller meeting on seat sharing between AAP and the Congress, and possibly between the Samajwadi Party and the Congress. But the big India Front meeting, which last took place in the national capital, that's the one which is going to take place tomorrow, which means all the senior leaders have been asked to join in through a Zoom link. That's going to be at 11:30 a.m. Though no one is talking very categorically about what the agenda is, but I think the timing is important, just comes ahead of the controversy surrounding the skipping of the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha on 22nd. But more importantly, as there is some picking up of pace as far as the seat sharing shocks has begun. So tomorrow 11:30 a.m. is when that big meeting of the India Front is going to take place.
All right. Thank you, Pallavi, for putting all of that into perspective. We'll, of course, keep coming back to you for more on that story. That's the word coming in as far as my colleague Pallavi is concerned. And the lowdown about what to anticipate in that meeting, keeping in mind that so far amongst the India Alliance members, there's no agreement of seat sharing. There is no real electoral alliance that has really emerged. We'll continue talking about that story. We'll continue tracking all the voices. For now, slipping into a very short break. Stay tuned, stay with us.
throughout the coastal line of Africa.
United States and Britain have launched strikes against sites linked to the Houthi movement in Yemen. Now, the first on the country since the Iran-backed group started targeting international shipping in the Red Sea late last year. As witnesses in Yemen confirmed explosions throughout the country to Reuters, President Joe Biden cautioned in a statement late on Thursday he would not hesitate to carry out further action if needed. Now, Joe Biden confirmed strikes against number of targets in Yemen, and he's called it a defensive action and said that it's a clear message that the United States and partners won't tolerate attack on our personnel. Also, he said that the US will not hesitate to direct further measures to protect its people and the free flow of international commerce. Now, as we are on this story, we also have some breaking news that's coming in. This is with regards to Antony Blinken, who is now dialed S. Jaishankar, our Minister of External Affairs, amid these Houthi attacks on the ships. What has gone down between the two, but as long as conversation is concerned, before the attack took place, US Secretary of State Antony J. Blinken spoke today with Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, and the Secretary and External Affairs Minister discussed the United States and India's shared concern over reckless Houthi attacks in the southern Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, which threaten the free flow of commerce, endanger innocent mariners and violate the international law. Now, the Secretary emphasized that the Red Sea is a major commercial corridor that facilitates international trade and welcomed increased cooperation with India in defending the freedom of navigation in the region. Now, the Secretary and the External Affairs Minister discussed the Israel-Hamas conflict as well and the efforts to prevent the conflict's escalation and increase the delivery of humanitarian aid to civilians in Gaza. The Secretary also discussed and brought up the subject of Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine, and the US State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller has given all these details out with regards to the conversation that took place between our External Affairs Minister and the US State Secretary. Currently, we have with us Abhishek Jha, who's joining us on this particular broadcast to bring us more details and context with regards to what we just discussed. Abhishek, a very good morning to you. Quite a crucial conversation between Indian External Affairs Minister and US's Antony Blinken, given that India has also upped its ante against these attacks in the Red Sea, and now the US and the UK together have launched strikes against the Houthis in Yemen.
Well, India has maintained its position that the escalation in Yemen or the Red Sea, which is kind of disrupting the entire global supply chain, is something that should not happen, and the Houthi militants should take a stand, not attacking the freeway or the maritime trade routes, and which is impacting the global trade. Also, we have seen the escalation happening in the wake of Yemeni groups escalating their attacks against American ships and the UK warships deployed in the region. They are attacking on the pretext of US support to Israel on Gaza, while USA's statement has continued to say that they are trying to protect the maritime routes which are being disrupted by Houthi militants and threatened by their continuous drones and missiles attacks. We have seen thousands of ships, cargo ships, rerouting themselves and going through the African, lands, and that is adding about 3 to 4 weeks of time for every cargo ships to reach to the European or African destinations, and there is also adding a lot of cost to it. So the entire maritime security is essential, and for that, finally, US and UK under their their umbrella of prosperity guardian, which they have formed to protect those maritime routes under Red Sea and south of Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, they have started attacking Houthi militant. After just 2 days ago, we had seen more than a dozen drones and missiles attacking or targeting US warships and UK warships deployed in the region. So we were expecting that any major escalation or major attack can happen from the US side also, and this is just that happened. While Royal UK Force had deployed 4 Typhoon fighter jets and guided bombs were used. US also used, apparently Tomahawk missiles were used in those attacks. About 12 targets in Yemen were attacked, including number of airports, airstrips, some of the ammunition depot also, some centers from where those drones or missile attacks were being conducted, or some regions where those reconnaissance surveillance systems in Yemen were also instituted. So US was trying to deter any possible future attack from the Yemeni side. So far, there has not been any retaliation that we can say. Initially, there were some reports that Yemen has also tried to attack or target US or UK warships in the region. There were some comments also from the Yemeni Home Minister, but then those comments were deleted. And for now, there is no retaliation that US or UK forces have faced in the region.
Right, Abhishek. Abhishek, do stay with us, because right now we also have Akash Sharma joining us on this broadcast to bring in more context to this particular breaking news, as well as the entire situation that's unfolding currently. Akash, coming to you, a very good morning firstly, and getting right into the matter. Right now in the Middle East, we've seen the kind of unrest that is there. And amid such unrest, the US now coming out with a statement which says that yes, they are now directly attacking the Irani-backed Houthi rebels. What consequences will this have or play out in the geopolitics at this current point? Akash, can you hear me?
Am I audible, Priya?
Yes, now you're audible. Yes, could you get my question?
Yeah. So basically, I was saying that Abhishek was mentioning about the kind of activities that were witnessed in the Red Sea throughout December, and we know that how a warning was issued by multiple nations, including US and UK, just last week. talking about these attacks and stopping at this point, which otherwise, it will lead to the consequences. And today we have seen that how the strikes have been carried out by US and UK, and in fact the statements are clearly saying that this is after the warning, because several sort of merchant vessels.
Welcome back, and let's tell you this story emerging from the state of Bengal, where the raids by the Enforcement Directorate has created a political storm. The Enforcement Directorate began raids at the house of West Bengal Minister Sujit Bose, TMC MLA Tapas Roy and former chief of the Dam municipality Subodh Chakrabarti, both of them under the scanner of the Enforcement Directorate right now. The raids were being conducted in connection with an alleged recruitment scam in the civic bodies in the state of West Bengal. Now, these are first raids after ED officials were attacked at another location when they were raiding another TMC leader. The searches in Kolkata, North 24 Parganas started simultaneously around 6:30 a.m. Heavy security was deployed at all three locations. BJP has reacted to the ED raids and said that the raids are being conducted because TMC functionaries were clearly involved in the scam. TMC has alleged that ED raids in the state are politically motivated. We get you more voices on the story. Listen into the reactions coming in.
हमारे पार्टी के स्तर से जैसे बोलेंगे आप उसके लिए वेट कीजिए, लेकिन अब तक ये साफ है, पानी की तरह साफ है कि पश्चिम बंगाल में इस तरीके के जो है ये या कहीं ना कहीं इसमें पॉलिटिकल जो है वेंडेटा वाली बात आ रही है और प्रतिहिंसा ये वाली बात आ रही है। अब रही बात हमारे दलीय स्तर से दल जिस तरीके से कहेंगे वैसे
ईडी का रेट तो होगा ही, चोर है। टी-शर्ट दे। सुजीत बोस इन्वॉल्व साउथ दमदम म्युनिसिपल रिक्रूटमेंट स्कैम। His two direct relative engaged in Kamarhati municipality. Tapas Rai also involved in Boranagar municipal recruitment scam. We Bengal people, we the youth, we want they should go to behind the bar.
All right, cutting across to my colleague Kamalika Sen-Gupta. She is joining us on the broadcast and giving us more perspective on this entire story. Kamalika, the Enforcement Directorate raids and the kind of political standoff between the BJP and TMC, not unknown, but give us a lowdown about what transpired this time.
See, right now, let me update you on this, that more than 10 hours has crossed, more than 11 hours have crossed. Raids are still continuing in Shujit Basu, one of the prominent ministers, his residence, and also in the residence of Taposh Roy, who is the MLA. But the raids of Subodh Chakrabarti, who is the councillor, the ED team has come out of his residence. Now the point is, this is a alleged municipal scam, where it has been found by the ED, according to the ED, that there has been a scam, there has been a corruption has taken place while municipal people have been given job in municipalities. Now this raid also comes after 7 days of the attack of Sandesh Khali. So the ED team has taken lots of precaution. But the war of words, before Lok Sabha polls, both Trinamool and BJP is up with this issue. As far as BJP is concerned, they are saying that the Trinamool Congress is a chore party, and everybody who are involved in this corruption, they should go behind the bars, and that's why what ED is doing, they are doing right. On the other hand, the ED team in the Trinamool Congress feels, and they are giving the statement that they are planning that Mamata Banerjee's entire cabinet should be behind the bars. And that is their planning, that to catch hold of, to put the big leaders behind the bars so that the party is damaged. But the party will not be damaged because the party is a Mamata Banerjee's party. Come what may.
Right, Kamalika Sen-Gupta getting us all the details on that very important story. Thank you, Kamalika, for putting that into perspective. As we told you earlier, it's a full-blown political war between the TMC and BJP. Listen to some more voices on the story.
देखिए ईडी जो कर रहे हैं वो पॉलिटिकली विंडिक्टिव एटीट्यूड है और ये हो रहा है भाजपा के इंस्ट्रक्शन में। भाजपा वो हार चुका है, हार रहा है और तृणमूल से उसका टक्कर का कोई पावर ही नहीं है, इसीलिए वो एजेंसी को मिसयूज कर रहा है। ये जो शुभेंदु कह रहा है ना, चोर का घर तो एजेंसी चाहेगा, अरे चोर तो शुभेंदु बड़ा चोर है। सीबीआई उसका खिलाफ एफआईआर दर्ज किया है। बीजेपी उसको वीडियो मार्केट में रिलीज किया था, बीजेपी ने उसको चोर बोला। उसको पॉलिटिकल डेफिसिट बीजेपी को ढांकने के लिए वो मिसयूज कर रहा है और तृणमूल लीडर्स को घर में भेज रहा है एजेंसी को, थोड़ा नेगेटिव माहौल क्रिएट करने के लिए।
We are standing outside Shujit Basu, the Fire Minister of Bengal, outside his residence. Right now, ED raid is going on. From today morning, 3 places, rather 4 places, ED is doing their raid. One is very prominent Minister Shujit Basu, his residence. As you can see that today is 7 days to this Sandesh Khali incident. So after Sandesh Khali, this is the first raid which ED is doing, and you can see that the central forces which has come with the ED, they are with full equipped today, and they have, as you can see, they have all guards. They have brought all guards today, and a fully equipped CRPF team is with the ED. On the other hand, you can see that the Bengal police is also here, the Bidhannagar police, because it falls under Bidhannagar Commissioner. They are also there today in this raid. Though we are getting it from the sources in police that the ED has not informed the police, but since they saw this, they got the information, they have come here. So basically raids are going on in the residence of 3 people. One is a very prominent minister, Fire Minister Shujit Basu. His house is just behind me. The other raid is going on in Taposh Roy, MLA, TMC, his residence, and another raid is going on in the house of the former chairman of North Dum municipality. Now what is this case? Let us understand that. We'll again try to show that this is one house of Shujit Basu where the raid is taking place. On the other hand, the entire road, as you can see, which is leading to Shujit Basu's residence, is now the security is there.
Well, moving on to another important story. These are shocking revelations in the murder case that has emerged in the Karnataka Goa murder case, which is being investigated right now by the Goa police authorities. The police found a letter inside the suitcase of Suchana Seth. She is the CEO of a tech startup, of an artificial intelligence startup. Also was a mother of a 4-year child who she killed herself. The letter was written with an eyeliner, and the content of the letter had details regarding the custody battle that she is presently involved in with her estranged husband. She did not want the custody of the child to go to the husband, and she in some way decided to kill the child. These are shocking developments and details that have been discovered. Also, the details that we are figuring out is that the minor child was stuffed inside her suitcase. She is in police custody right now, hasn't shown any kind of remorse so far. The police is investigating the matter. Listen into some reactions and voices which we'll get on the story. My colleague Yesha will also join us on the broadcast and give us more perspective. But first, some reactions.
मैंने वो डाउट आने नहीं दिया, क्योंकि मैं पुलिस से फ़ोन रखने के बाद एकदम मतलब शांति था, या नॉर्मल जैसे ड्राइविंग करते थे वैसे ही मैंने अपना एक्सप्रेशन रखा, क्योंकि उनको शायद अगर कुछ पता चलता शायद वो कुछ रिएक्ट करती, लेकिन मैंने अपने इस पर कोई रिएक्शन नहीं दिया, नॉर्मल जैसा ही रहा। मुझे उन्होंने पूछा था कि क्या लगेज लेके जा रही है, मैंने बोला कि एक बैग है, और एक्चुअली मैंने उनको बोला था कि थोड़ा हैवी लग रहा है मुझे, लेकिन उस वक्त भी मुझे, अभी क्या होता है सबका अलग अलग रहता है, अभी कुछ बता नहीं सकते। उन्होंने बोला था कि काम का सामान है करके, लेकिन थोड़ा बहुत डाउट आता है, लेकिन 100% नहीं था। लेकिन जब वो पुलिस ने बोला कि सेकंड टाइम जब बोला कि मतलब वो बच्चा मिसिंग है, एड्रेस फेक है, तो थोड़ा बहुत हो ही जाता है, और बाद में तो उधर कंफर्म ही हो गया वो।
Cutting across to my colleague Yesha Kotak, she's getting us more details of this investigation. Yesha, first a chain of events from you. How did the police get hold of her? How was this crime uncovered? And what has the police investigation found so far?
So as of now, the investigation in this case has found that when Suchana Seth, who she was questioned, she has time and again just kept her stance clear that she was upset because of her marriage, which is where she's come to Goa. However, as of now, she's not shown any remorse, like you've mentioned, or in fact clarified or accepted that it was she who's taken the life of her son. However, Cops right now investigating the case have summoned her husband, who is likely to join the probe tomorrow. Apart from that, the statement of the cab driver, Rajon D'Souza, whom we just heard, his statement has been recorded. Statements of 16 people have been recorded in this case. So far, even the red bag that Rajon D'Souza spoke of, that red bag which contained a chit. The chit spoke about the dispute that Venkat Raman and Suchasna Sheth were having. In fact, that very chit was crumpled. It was crumpled into 4 to 5 pieces. Cops assembled it, and I think analysis of that chit also that will take place. So this is the further line of investigation that will take place. However, as of now, those whom cops have spoken to, they have confirmed that Suchasna was very close to her son. In fact, her son, she had traveled to Goa with her son in December as well for a vacation, and throughout her custodial fight for her son's custody, she was quite pro about it. So what happens here is the fact that the statement of her husband would be quite instrumental to understand what really transpired and why she could have taken a step like this.
All right. Thank you, Yasha, for putting all of that into perspective. It is indeed shocking at many levels when a mother decides to take the life of her own child, and that too in a gruesome manner like this one. We'll continue tracking that story and much more. For now, slipping into a short break. Stay tuned, stay with us.
I don't just feel like the Indian of the year. I feel I have been the Indian of all the years gone by. I will be the Indian for all the years to come. I am actually, ladies and gentlemen, the Indian for all ages.
Brought to you by Houthis. Also, as far as the location of these strikes are concerned, so one is a site at Bani in northwestern Yemen, which was allegedly used for drone attacks, and the second one is the airfield where we have been given to understand. In fact, the statement from the UK Defence Ministry is pointing out that this particular site was used to launch both cruise missiles and drones. So two locations have been targeted where we are learning that in these two locations there were multiple targets. This was carried out in night time to avoid civilian casualty, but yes, it is a big development followed by a warning that was issued just last week. Also, it is important to mention, Shreya, that US and UK are talking about the trade and the kind of attacks that were seen on the merchant vessels. 15% of the trade, passes through the Red Sea. We have seen the attacks not just in Red Sea but in the Gulf of Aden as well. In fact, I remember how in Arabian Sea, in fact, an attack was launched, though we still don't have any sort of confirmation as to who was behind that attack, but Camp Pluto episode was very much there, after which United States, somewhere blamed Iran for that particular attack. But at this point in time, these strikes are the important development that has happened. In fact, we are getting a number of statements straight from White House to UK Prime Minister, and they are somewhere confirming that this was a defensive that was launched after a lot of incidents that have happened in the Red Sea and in the vicinity.
Right, Akash. Akash, do stay with us. I'll just take another question with Abhishek at this point. Abhishek, if firstly to you, are we looking at a possible retaliation from these Houthi rebels when it comes to these strikes against the US and the UK? Because we've been seeing the kind of attacks that have been launched against the commercial merchant vessels. And if that does take place, what will it exactly translate to on the ground level? If you could take us through the anticipated consequences of such an attack, of a full-fledged, for that matter, full-fledged war between these two sides.
Well, Houthis have in the past attacked the Saudi and UAE locations deep down various petroleum facilities or refinery facilities, including of Aramco, have been attacked. And so we know that Houthis have the capability to strike deep inside UAE and Saudi, which is like very much near to their locations. Talking about these attacks on the deployment that US, UK, and other countries have done in Red Sea, we have seen multiple attacks having in the past also when cargo ships were attacked. So far, there has not been any, any significant attack on any military or naval vessel that has been deployed by US, UK, or other countries which are part of that prosperity garden. So, but in the wake of the latest escalation, we can assume that there will be some retaliation from Sana'a because these attacks are not only going to give some sort of moral authority to the Yemeni government, but also the people in Yemen who have been until now not or divided on the kind of attacks that these Yemeni government was taking against US ships. They will be rallying their support for the cause of people from Gaza, for the cause of attack that has happened from the US and UK side on Sana'a and various locations. And so now we can see more emboldened or confident Yemeni government taking actions, retaliatory action mostly against those ships. Though US and UK have said that they are prepared for any retaliatory actions coming from Yemen, so probably they are also anticipating some sort of escalation. For now, there is no way that we can look at going down of Yemeni attacks in the wake of the latest attack that US has done, and the escalation of the tensions would continue to remain high, and the ships, for those who were faring through that area, will have to take the reroute that they were taking throughout the coastal line of Africa.
United States and Britain have launched strikes against sites linked to the Houthi movement in Yemen. Now, the first on the country since the Iran-backed group started targeting international shipping in the Red Sea late last year. As witnesses in Yemen confirmed explosions throughout the country to Reuters, President Joe Biden cautioned in a statement late on Thursday he would not hesitate to carry out further action if needed. Now, Joe Biden confirmed strikes against number of targets in Yemen, and he's called it a defensive action and said that it's a clear message that the United States and partners won't tolerate attack on our personnel. Also, he said that the US will not hesitate to direct further measures to protect its people and the free flow of international commerce. Now, as we are on this story, we also have some breaking news that's coming in. This is with regards to Anthony Blinken, who is now dialed S. Jaishankar, our Minister of External Affairs, amid these Houthi attacks on the ships. What has gone down between the two, but as long as conversation is concerned, before the attack took place, US Secretary of State Anthony J. Blinken spoke today with Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, and the Secretary and External Affairs Minister discussed the United States and India's shared concern over reckless Houthi attacks in the southern Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, which threaten the free flow of commerce, endanger innocent mariners, and violate the international law. Now, the Secretary emphasized that the Red Sea is a major commercial corridor that facilitates international trade and welcomed increased cooperation with India in defending the freedom of navigation in the region. Now, the Secretary and the External Affairs Minister discussed the Israel-Hamas conflict as well and the efforts to prevent the conflict's escalation and increase the delivery of humanitarian aid to civilians in Gaza. The Secretary also discussed and brought up the subject of Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine, and the US State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller has given all these details out with regards to the conversation that took place between our External Affairs Minister and the US State Secretary. Currently, we have with us Abhishek Jha, who's joining us on this particular broadcast to bring us more details and context with regards to what we just discussed. Abhishek, a very good morning to you. Quite a crucial conversation between Indian External Affairs Minister and US's Anthony Blinken, given that India has also upped its ante against these attacks in the Red Sea, and now the US and the UK together have launched strikes against the Houthis in.
Welcome back, and let's have a quick check of some key stories from across the country. The Royal Air Force has carried out targeted strikes in the Houthi rebel military facilities in Yemen. This responds after recent attacks on commercial shipping in the Red Sea area, threatening global ships and disruption with the trade routes. The UK, in collaboration with US and support from the Netherlands, Canada and Bahrain, took limited, necessary, proportionate actions in self-defense. The Royal Navy remains on high alert in the Red Sea, urging the rebels to cease attacks and de-escalate tensions. ED has conducted raids at the residence of Fire Minister Sujit Basu, MLA Tapas Roy and former North Damdam Chairman Subodh Chakrabarti in connection with the municipal scam. This marks the first raid since the Sandesh Kali incident. ED teams also raided in Birati, North 24 Parganas, targeting Subodh Chakrabarti's house for the municipal scam. Delhi's Palam Airport faces severe visibility challenges as Zero Sight reported at about 7:30 a.m. this morning. The attached figure illustrates the dire conditions and the experts indicate no substantial improvement over the next 2 hours. The dense fog predicament has triggered concerns about flight disruptions and operational hurdles at one of the country's major airports. As the cold wave maintains its unrelenting grip, Kashmir Valley is experiencing a deep chill. Temperatures have dipped below the freezing point in multiple parts. Water bodies continue to be completely frozen. In a proactive response, the Border Security Force intercepts a drone incursion along the Punjab border. And during the search operations, BSF successfully recovered a suspected heroin packet weighing around 520 grams, stopping another illicit attempt. And after holding a mega roadshow in Nasik, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to inaugurate Mumbai Trans Harbour Link, also called the Atal Setu. This is a state-of-the-art project. Of course, this kind of infrastructure is very difficult to build and also costs a loss to the public exchequer. The 21.8 kilometer long sea bridge will be connecting south to Navi Mumbai between Sewri and Navana Sheva. Is expected to cater to around 70,000 vehicles in a single day. It is expected to decongest Mumbai and make travelling far more easier, which has been the biggest concern for the financial capital of the country, the city of Mumbai. Also, the bridge will provide faster connectivity at the international airport, also to the Navi Mumbai International Airport, and reduce travel time from Mumbai, Pune, Goa and South India. That's the state-of-the-art facility that has been inaugurated by none other than Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Listen into the voices, reactions, what we saw through the day.
We'll see that Prime Minister Narendra Modi would be reaching at the Navi Mumbai stretch. So this very bridge that I'll take you through going further, this is in fact a 21.8 kilometer long stretch, and this bridge is a 6-lane bridge that we speak of. As of now, the toll for this very bridge for a four-wheeler has been fixed at rupees 250 rupees. Also, there are monthly passes. But as of now, what we also understand in this case is the fact that when it comes to auto rickshaws or for that matter tractors and other heavy vehicles, they are not allowed. But buses, their movement is allowed right here. Also, you can also actually see that this is the barricading that has been put in place. There was tight security all around Mumbai throughout because of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit, and all throughout on the bridge you can see there are posters that are being put up to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is the freeway that connects suburbs of Mumbai to the southern part of Mumbai, that is the industrial area of Mumbai. And from freeway is where this Atal Setu in fact heads towards Navi Mumbai. All the way further you see that's where this bridge actually ends into a 6-lane road. It took approximately 7 years, like Aman also mentioned, 7 years of wait it was for Mumbaikars, but of course it is going to be a big potential boom, a big infrastructure boom for Mumbaikars because it connects the main part of Mumbai to the suburbs of Mumbai.
All right, let's also tell you about the shocking incident that was reported in Karnataka's Haveri district. The incident took place on the 7th of January, where an interfaith couple was assaulted by certain vigilantes or the people who claim to be morally policing the area. Not only these individuals barged into the room, they also harassed the couple, intimidated them, threatened them. But now before a magistrate, before the court, the woman has also complained that she was actually gang raped by these individuals. The police says that they are going to amend the FIR, they are going to further add sections because now the woman has made that statement. BJP has questioned the worsening law and order situation in the state of Karnataka and also accused the Congress party of being soft on the miscreants because they belong to the minority community. Let's listen into the voices and reactions coming in.
और बहुत
ಆನಿಕಲ್ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಮಹಿಳಾ ವಿಕ್ಟಿಮ್ಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ 164 ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇವತ್ತು ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 376 ಕೂಡ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು 7 ಜನ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಲಿಗೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು 3 ಜನ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಜನ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ಡಿಸ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ನಂತರ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನು 3 ಜನ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ಈ ಪ್ರಕರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಎಲ್ಲ ತನಿಖೆ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅವರು ಮೊದಲೇ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ರೀತಿ ಆನಂತರ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಥಾಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕೆಲವ್ರನ್ನ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಗೇಷನ್ಸ್ ನಡೆಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಗೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ
देश को मिला है, ये हमारे उस संकल्प का भी प्रमाण है कि भारत के विकास के लिए हम समंदर से भी टकरा सकते हैं, लहरों को भी चीर सकते हैं. आज का ये कार्यक्रम संकल्प से सिद्धि का भी प्रमाण है. मैं 24 दिसंबर 2016 का दिन नहीं भूल सकता, जब मैं मुंबई ट्रांस हार्बर लिंक अटल सेतु के शिलान्यास के लिए यहां आया था. तब मैंने छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज को नमन करते हुए कहा था कि लिख कर रखिए, देश बदलेगा भी और देश बढ़ेगा भी. जिस व्यवस्था में सालों साल काम लटकाने की आदत पड़ गई थी, उससे देशवासियों को कोई उम्मीद बची नहीं थी. लोग सोचते थे कि उनके जीते जी बड़े प्रोजेक्ट पूरे हो जाएं, ये मुश्किल ही है. और इसलिए मैंने कहा था, लिख कर रखिए, देश बदलेगा और जरूर बदलेगा. ये तब मोदी की गारंटी थी. और आज मैं छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज को फिर नमन करते हुए, मुम्बरा देवी को नमन करते हुए, सिद्धि विनायक जी को प्रणाम करते हुए ये अटल सेतु मुंबई करों को, देश के लोगों को समर्पित कर रहा हूं. कोरोना के महासंकट के बावजूद मुंबई ट्रांस हार्बर लिंक का काम बहुत पूरा होना बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि है. हमारे लिए शिलान्यास, भूमि पूजन, उद्घाटन और लोकार्पण सिर्फ एक दिन का कार्यक्रम पर नहीं होता. नहीं, ये मीडिया में आने के लिए और जनता को रिझाने के लिए होता है. हमारे लिए हर प्रोजेक्ट भारत के नवनिर्माण का माध्यम है. जैसे एक एक ईंट से बुलंद इमारत बनती है, वैसे ही ऐसे हर प्रोजेक्ट से भव्य भारत की इमारत बन रही है. साथियों, आज यहां देश के मुंबई और महाराष्ट्र के विकास से जुड़े हुए 33,000 करोड़ रुपए के प्रोजेक्ट का शिलान्यास और लोकार्पण हुआ है. ये प्रोजेक्ट रोड, रेल, मेट्रो, पानी जैसी सुविधाओं से जुड़े हुए हैं. आज व्यापार जगत को मजबूती देने वाली आधुनिक भारत रत्नम और नेक्स्ट वन बिल्डिंग भी मुंबई के लिए को मिली है. इसमें से अधिकतर प्रोजेक्ट तब शुरू हुए थे जब महाराष्ट्र में पहली बार डबल इंजन की सरकार बनी थी. इसलिए महाराष्ट्र में देवेंद्र जी से लेकर के अब एकनाथ शिंदे जी, अजीत पवार जी तक पूरी टीम के प्रयासों का परिणाम है. मैं उन सबको बधाई देता हूं. मैं आज महाराष्ट्र की बहनों को भी बधाई दूंगा. इतनी बड़ी तादाद में महिलाओं का आना, इन माताओं बहनों का हमें आशीर्वाद देना, इससे बड़ा सौभाग्य क्या होता है. देश की माताओं बहनों बेटियों के सशक्तिकरण की जो गारंटी और जो गारंटी मोदी ने दी है ना, उसको महाराष्ट्र सरकार भी आगे बढ़ा रही है. मुख्यमंत्री महिला सक्षमीकरण अभियान नारी शक्ति दूत एप्लीकेशन और लेक लाड़की योजना ऐसा ही एक उत्तम प्रयास है। आज यहां इस आयोजन में हमें आशीर्वाद देने के लिए इतनी बड़ी संख्या में हमारी माताएं, बहनें और बेटियां आई हुई है। विकसित भारत के निर्माण के लिए भारत की नारी शक्ति का आगे आना, नेतृत्व करना उतना ही आवश्यक है। हमारी सरकार का निरंतर प्रयास है कि माताओं, बहनों, बेटियों के रास्ते में आने वाली हर रुकावट को दूर करें, उनकी जिंदगी आसान बनाएं। उज्ज्वला का गैस सिलेंडर हो, आयुष्मान योजना के तहत 5 लाख रुपए के मुफ्त इलाज की सुविधा हो, जनधन बैंक खाते हो, पीएम आवास के पक्के घर हो, घरों की रजिस्ट्री महिलाओं के नाम हो, गर्भवती महिलाओं के बैंक खाते में 6,000 रुपया भेजना हो, नौकरी करने वाली महिलाओं को वेतन के साथ 26 हफ्ते की छुट्टी देना हो, सुकन्या समृद्धि खातों के माध्यम से ज्यादा ब्याज देना हो। हमारी सरकार ने महिलाओं के हर चिंता का ध्यान रखा है। डबल इंजन की सरकार किसी भी राज्य में हो, महिला कल्याण उसकी सबसे प्रथम प्रमुख हमारी गारंटी है। आज जो योजनाएं शुरू हो रही है वो भी इसी दिशा में बड़ा कदम है। मेरे परिवारजनों, बीते कई दिनों से देश में मुंबई ट्रांस हार्बर लिंक अटल सेतु की चर्चा हो रही है। आज जो कोई अटल सेतु को देख रहा है, तो इसकी तस्वीरें देख रहा है, वो गौरव से भर उठता है। कोई इसकी विशालता से, समुद्र के बीच उसकी अड़िग छवि से मंत्रमुग्ध है, कोई इसकी इंजीनियरिंग से प्रभावित है। जैसे इसमें जितनी वायर लगी है, उससे पूरी पृथ्वी के 2 बार चक्कर लग सकते हैं। इस प्रोजेक्ट में जितना लोहा, स्टील इस्तेमाल किया है, उससे हावड़ा ब्रिज 4 हावड़ा ब्रिज और 6 स्टैच्यू ऑफ लिबर्टी का निर्माण हो सकता है। कोई इस बात से खुश है कि अब मुंबई और रायगढ़ की दूरी और सिमट गई है। जिस यात्रा में पहले कई घंटे लगते थे, अब वही यात्रा कुछ मिनटों में ही हो जाया करेगी। इससे नवी मुंबई के साथ साथ पुणे और गोवा भी मुंबई के और पास आ जाएंगे। इस ब्रिज को बनाने में जापान ने जो सहयोग किया है, उसके लिए मैं जापान सरकार की विशेष रूप से आभारी हूं। मैं आज अपने प्रिय मित्र स्वर्गीय शिंजो आबे को जरूर याद करूंगा। इस ब्रिज के निर्माण को जल्द से जल्द पूरा करने का संकल्प हम दोनों ने मिलकर लिया था। लेकिन साथियों, अटल सेतु को हम इतने सीमित दायरे में नहीं देख सकते। अटल सेतु भारत की उस आकांक्षा का जयघोष है जिसका आह्वान साल 2014 में पूरे देश ने किया था। जब मुझे चुनाव की जिम्मेवारी दी गई थी, तो 2014 के चुनाव के कुछ समय पहले मैं रायगढ़ किले पर गया था। छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की समाधि के सामने बैठ करके कुछ पल मैंने बिताए थे उन संकल्पों को सिद्धि में बदलने की, उनकी इच्छा शक्ति, जनशक्ति को राष्ट्र शक्ति बनाने की उनकी दृष्टि थी। सब कुछ मेरी आंखों के सामने और आशीर्वाद बनकर के आया था। उस बात को 10 साल हो रहे हैं। इन 10 वर्षों में देश ने अपने सपनों को सच होते देखा है, अपने संकल्पों को सिद्धियों में बदलते हुए देखा है। अटल सेतु इसी भावना का प्रतिबिंब है। युवा साथियों के लिए यह नया विश्वास लेकर आ रहा है। उनके बेहतर भविष्य का रास्ता अटल सेतु जैसे आधुनिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर से होकर ही गुजरता है। अटल सेतु विकसित भारत की तस्वीर है। विकसित भारत कैसा होने वाला है उसकी एक झलक है। विकसित भारत में सबके लिए सुविधा होगी, सबकी समृद्धि होगी, गति होगी, प्रगति होगी। विकसित भारत में दूरियां सिमटेगी, देश का कोना कोना जुड़ेगा। जीवन हो या आजीविका, सब कुछ निरंतर बिना रुकावट के चलेगा। यही तो अटल सेतु का संदेश है। मेरे परिवारजनों, बीते 10 वर्षों में भारत बदल गया है। इसकी चर्चा खूब होती है। बदले हुए भारत की तस्वीर तब और साफ हो जाती है जब हम 10 वर्ष के पहले भारत को याद करते हैं। 10 साल पहले हजारों लाखों करोड़ रुपए के मेगा स्कैम्स की चर्चा होती थी। आज हजारों करोड़ रुपए के मेगा प्रोजेक्ट के पूरे होने की चर्चा होती है। सुशासन का एक संकल्प देश भर में दिख रहा है। देश ने नॉर्थ ईस्ट में भूपेन हजारिका सेतु और बोगीबील ब्रिज जैसे मेगा प्रोजेक्ट पूरे होते देखा है। आज अटल टनल और चेनाब ब्रिज जैसे प्रोजेक्ट की चर्चा होती है। आज एक के बाद एक बनते एक्सप्रेसवे की चर्चा होती है। आज हम भारत में आधुनिक और भव्य रेलवे स्टेशन बनते देख रहे हैं। ईस्टर्न और वेस्टर्न फ्रेट कॉरिडोर रेलवे की तस्वीर बदलने वाले हैं। वंदे भारत, नमो भारत, अमृत भारत ट्रेनों सामान्य जन के सफर को आसान और आधुनिक बना रही है। आज हर कुछ सप्ताह में देश किसी न किसी कोने में नए एयरपोर्ट का लोकार्पण होता है। साथियों, यही मुंबई में, महाराष्ट्र में इन वर्षों में अनेक मेगा प्रोजेक्ट या तो पूरे हो चुके हैं या फिर बहुत जल्द पूरे होने वाले। पिछले साल ही बाला साहब ठाकरे समृद्धि महामार्ग का लोकार्पण हुआ। नवी मुंबई एयरपोर्ट और कोस्टल रोड प्रोजेक्ट पर भी तेजी से काम चल रहा है। कोस्टल रोड प्रोजेक्ट से मुंबई महानगर की कनेक्टिविटी का कायाकल्प होने जा रहा है। ऑरेंज गेट, ईस्टर्न फ्रीवे और मरीन ड्राइव की अंडरग्राउंड टनल कनेक्टिविटी मुंबई शहर में ईज ऑफ ट्रैवल बनाएगी। आने वाले कुछ सालों में ही मुंबई को पहली बुलेट ट्रेन भी मिलने वाली है। दिल्ली मुंबई इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर महाराष्ट्र को मध्य भारत और उत्तर भारत से जोड़ने जा रहा है। महाराष्ट्र को तेलंगाना, छत्तीसगढ़ और अन्य पड़ोसी राज्यों से जोड़ने के लिए ट्रांसमिशन लाइन नेटवर्क बिछाया जा रहा है। इसके अलावा ऑयल और गैस पाइपलाइन हो, औरंगाबाद इंडस्ट्रियल सिटी हो, नवी मुंबई एयरपोर्ट हो, शैलेंद्र बिडकिन इंडस्ट्रियल पार्क हो, ये बड़ी परियोजनाएं महाराष्ट्र की अर्थव्यवस्था को नई गति देने वाली है। मेरे परिवारजनों, आज पूरा देश प्रत्यक्ष देख रहा है कि टैक्स पेयर का पैसा किस तरह देश के विकास लग रहा है। लेकिन देश पर दशकों तक शासन करने वालों ने देश का समय और टैक्स पेयर का पैसा दोनों ही की परवाह नहीं की है। इसलिए पहले के दौर में कोई प्रोजेक्ट या तो जमीन पर उतरता ही नहीं था या फिर दशकों तक लटका रहता था। महाराष्ट्र तो ऐसे अनेक प्रोजेक्ट का साक्षी रहा है। नीलवंडे डैम का काम 5 दशक पहले शुरू हुआ था, इसे हमारी सरकार ने पूरा किया। उरण खारकों पर रेल लाइन पर भी लगभग 30 दशक पहले काम शुरू हुआ था।
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Days after the Congress top brass declined the invitation to attend the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha on January 22, there's a divide amongst the India bloc allies on whether to go or not to go for the event. The opposition bloc is caught in a severe political bite. So what's the dilemma? The words used by Congress leader Shashi Tharoor to capture the context makes it clear. If you go, that means you are playing into the hands of the BJP. If you don't go, that means you are anti-Hindu. This is what he said. He of course called it utter nonsense. While declining the event, the Congress, which has oscillated and vacillated on the issue historically, argued that religion should be a personal matter, a private matter, but that this event has become a political project of the BJP and the RSS. The Congress deterred for about 2 weeks, but the leadership cleared the air just before Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra kicks off on January 14. Now, sources in the Congress say that it had gauged the sense of the parties in the India bloc before announcing its decision, and that the top party leaders might visit the temple after the Pran Pratishtha ceremony, thus conveying its move was always about opposing BJP politics and not really about faith per se. Critics, though, would also argue this was not the time for party politics, because this moment is bigger than everyone and anything. There is no harm for all political ideologies in the country to come together on that one day that signifies 500-year-old fight to reclaim a Ram temple in Ayodhya. But this is precisely the problem. Can several of these parties make that assertion given their past actions on the Ram temple issue? Or could it also be argued that the opposition is actually being smart by declining this invite? They are looking at what works for them, not necessarily what works for the BJP.
To go or not to go? That's the big question, and we take that to our guests in just a bit. But let me first break down where each party stands right now, the prominent opposition parties, part of the India Bloc alliance. Now, the Congress, of course, Kharge, Sonia Gandhi, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary have declined that event. They've said that religion should be kept private, but their grassroots leaders want to go. And the UP leadership have been given the go-ahead to attend this program if they want to. Samajwadi Party's Akhilesh Yadav has been skirting around the issue for a while. He has now said that he doesn't even know who invited him. And he went on to say only those who know you invite you for events. It's likely they're not going to go. DMK has assured support to devotees instead, those who may want to visit Ayodhya for this ceremony, and otherwise they have said we're going to help them and we're going to facilitate this for them. Now, some other North India parties are undecided, like the JDU. Buzz is Nitish Kumar could go for the ceremony, but they are yet to make that announcement. Aam Aadmi Party is another such party. They have played the Hindutva card in the past. They are yet to announce their decision. The likes of TMC, though, have already declined. Remember,